Dear Class 8 students of St. Michael's Academy, welcome to online physical science class. Today I am going to start current electricity. Before this I have discussed statical electricity. Now I am going to start current electricity. It's a very interesting chapter, so let's start. First, what is electric current? Definition. Electric current is defined as the rate of flow of negative charges of the conductor. In other words, the continuous flow of electrons in an electric circuit is called an electric current. The conducting material consists a large number of free electrons which move from one atom to the other at random. Mathematical expression of electric current is equal to total charge that flows divided by time required. So electric charge is expressed in coulomb and time in seconds. The SI unit of electric current is the ampere, which is the flow of electric charge across a surface at the rate of 1 coulomb per second. The ampere symbol A is an SI base unit. Electric current is measured using a device called an ammeter. Now, according to the direction of electric current, two different types of electric current are there. One is direct current, that is DC. Please see the diagram. First one is DC or direct current. If the flow of charge always in the same direction, then it is called direct current. And second one is alternating current or AC. If the direction of current changes after regular interval of time, then the current is called alternating current. Always remember that AC is more powerful than DC. Now I am starting simple voltaic cell. In 1780, Luigi Galvani, who was a scientist, discovered that when two different metals, for example copper and zinc, are in contact and then both are touched at the same time to two different parts of a muscle of a frog leg, to close the circuit, the frog's leg contracts. He called this animal electricity. The frog's leg, as well as being a detector of electrical current, was also the electrolyte. The device in which chemical energy is used to get a constant electric current is called electric cell. In 1800 AD, Alessandro Volta first constructed an electric cell. This cell is named after him as voltaic cell. Here I have given one diagram for Luigi Galvani experiment. It's a very rare diagram. Please see this diagram properly. Frog legs has been shown over here, which is actually responding. Wire are there, copper wire is there, which is responding. So this is the basic concept of the invention of simple voltaic cell. Now I am describing mechanism of voltaic cell. A voltaic cell consists basically of two different metal plates immersed in an acid solution. That means two electrodes immersed in an acid solution or an electrolyte. The action of the acid removes electrons from one plate and accumulates them. One plate, here I have mentioned one plate, that means one electrode, and accumulates them, that means gather them on the other plate, that means on other electrode. In this way, a potential difference is produced between the two plates and a current can be made to flow through an external circuit. The working principle of voltaic cell depends upon the principle that whenever two dissimilar metals are immersed as electrode inside an electrolyte solution, the more reactive metal will have a tendency to dissolve in the electrolyte as positive metal ions, that means as cations, leaving electrons behind on the metal plate. See the diagram. It's a nice diagram I have given because in your book it's a clumsy diagram. Zinc used here as anode and copper as cathode. Two electrodes are there. Now see, from zinc plate, zinc ion Zn plus 2 is coming to the solution, and copper Cu plus 2, this ion is going to copper. That is copper sulfate solution, that is zinc sulfate solution. Okay. Now I am explaining this mechanism from your book. One more thing I am going to tell you, that is, in every slide I have tried my best to give some extra notes with some extra diagram that has not been cleared in your book, because I have given colorful diagrams so that it is very easy for you to understand. So please read your book thoroughly, along with read these slides thoroughly and listen to my audio carefully. Hope so you will understand. If any type of doubt you are facing or you will face, please email me at the given email ID. Now from the book I am telling you, this cell is named after Alessandro Volta as voltaic cell. In this cell, two plates of copper and zinc are dipped into dilute sulfuric acid solution in a glass vessel. In the solution, zinc plate collects negative charge and the copper plate positive charge. See the diagram of the slide, you can understand. In solution, dilute sulfuric acid is ionized into positively charged hydrogen and negatively charged sulfate ions, that is H2SO4 dissolves into 2H plus sulfate, that is SO4 minus ion, cation and anion. So when copper and zinc plates are dipped in the acid solution, zinc ion from zinc combines with sulfate or sulfate ion to form zinc sulfate. See the diagram, zinc sulfate is forming, or ZnSO4. As a result, zinc plate becomes negatively charged. That only happened. H plus ions from the solution, that means H2SO4 is there, so H plus ion from the solution reaching the copper plate collect electrons from the plate to become electrically neutral hydrogen atom. This hydrogen atom forms hydrogen molecule which comes out as hydrogen gas, and copper plate becomes positively charged. That's why copper 2 plus ion is going to copper plate. See the diagram. In the cell, the copper plate is called positive electrode or positive pole or anode, and the zinc plate as negative electrode or negative pole or cathode. But here they have taken as zinc anode and copper cathode. That means before taking this, they are telling this, and after taking this in your book, it has been changed which one is cathode, which one is anode. When these electrodes are connected externally by a metal wire, that is circuit, we are drawing the circuit. That means before making circuit, zinc is cathode and copper is anode. Okay. After making circuit by a metal wire, then electrons from negatively charged zinc plate flow to the positively charged copper plate. That is, conventional current flows from copper to zinc plate. When current is drawn from the cell, zinc gradually goes into solution. So zinc is called as the fuel of the cell. There are two defects of simple voltaic cell. First one is local action. Local action caused by the impurities present in zinc rod. When the zinc rod is immersed in acid, the zinc atoms and the impurity atoms form a large number of local cells, and the zinc rod gets consumed even when the cell is not in use. This defect can be avoided by using amalgamated zinc rods. Mercury dissolves zinc and allows only zinc atoms to come into contact with acid and thus avoids formation of local cells. Now next defect of simple voltaic cell is polarization. Polarization is a defect that occurs in simple electric cells due to the accumulation of hydrogen gas around the positive electrode. In simple cells, hydrogen gas is evolved as a result of chemical reactions taking place inside the cell. Prevention of this polarization is the action of the water and the ammonium chloride, that is NH4Cl, in the paste together with the zinc and carbon electrodes produces the voltage of the cell. Manganese dioxide, that is MnO2, is added to reduce polarization when current flows, and zinc chloride, that is ZnCl2, reduces local action when the cell is not being used. You will understand this prevention of polarization method in the next two slides, because it's a prevention of dry cell polarization also. Now, what is dry cell? A dry cell is a type of electric battery commonly used for portable electrical devices. A standard dry cell comprises a zinc anode, usually in the form of a cylindrical pot, with a carbon cathode in the form of a central rod. That means at center carbon rod is there as cathode. The electrolyte is ammonium chloride, that is NH4Cl, in the form of a paste next to the zinc anode. Zinc is anode and carbon is cathode over here. And we are talking about dry cell batteries. That means any battery, your watch battery, your torch battery, any battery. In fact, any dry cell battery, this type of battery can use. But we are not talking about lithium battery. Maybe you are asking me, or you can ask me about mobile batteries. No, these are not, because these are all lithium batteries. Now, dry cell contains paste inside it to take chemical reactions and to produce the potential difference between its terminals. Same thing, mechanism same like simple voltaic cell, but it is dry. But when we touch it, it is dry from the outside, unlike the voltaic cell, which contains an electrolytic solution. So, a dry cell is really dry. Dry cell battery stores energy in an immobilized electrolyte, that means paste, that means it cannot move, which minimizes the need for water. Common examples of dry cell batteries include zinc carbon batteries and alkaline batteries. So mainly torch battery, actually zinc carbon battery. A dry cell is a type of electric battery commonly used for portable with electrical devices. Mechanism of dry cell. Dry cell batteries create electrical energy by converting chemical energy into electricity. These materials are placed within the electrolyte paste within the battery. They react with each other through a chemical process in which the electrolyte, that is carbon or manganese dioxide, formula is MnO2, reacts with the zinc, creating electricity. This is gist of mechanism of dry cell. Now from your book, in dry cell chemical reaction between zinc and ammonium chloride produces zinc chloride, which absorbs ammonia gas. See the diagram beside this diagrammatic representation I have given, where equations are there. So you can take the equations from here also. Zn2 plus within bracket Aq, that means aqueous, plus 2 NH3 gas plus 2 Cl minus, that means actually NH4Cl, that is aqueous, forming ZnNH3 whole 2 Cl2 solid. After that MnO2, that is solid, 2 MnO2, manganese dioxide, reacts with hydrogen gas forming Mn2O3 solid plus H2O, or else you can write the reaction from your book. Polarization is removed as hydrogen reacting with MnO2 produces water. In the cell, due to this chemical reaction, carbon rod and zinc become respectively positive and negative poles. In this cell, zinc is gradually eaten away and ultimately the cell becomes useless. This may be noted that dry cell is not completely dry, a little water is present in the paste. But if you touch the dry cell from outside, it is looking dry, that's why it is called dry cell. Now see the diagram. Diagram is as your book. Carbon rod is there, zinc rod is there, glass is there, porous earthenware pot is there, powdered manganese dioxide and granulated carbons mixture is there, and aqueous solution of ammonium chloride is also there. Diagram, you have to draw this diagram either from your book, either from this slide. You have to draw this in exam also. And simple voltaic cell also you have to draw in exam. Either you draw this slide diagram or you draw diagram also in your copy also, and in your exam as well as in your answer also according to the marks. Work of today. Define electric current. Give the mechanism of a simple voltaic cell. What is local action? How polarization can be prevented? Give the mechanism of dry cell. Explain Luigi Galvani experiment. Students, thank you students. And last but not the least, for any doubts or queries, please email me at sudeshnaban.sma@outlook.com. Even you need to mail your regular physical science assignments in this given email ID.